Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Tuesday evening today from Kindred. This is the 2026 Region 1 Baseball Tournament where we have two games on schedule for today. First up, Oak Grove and Central Cass in an elimination contest. Following that, it'll be the winner of this game going up against the Kindred Vikings roughly at around 6 o'clock tonight in our championship. If needed, we will go to the championship game 2 tomorrow night at 5 p.m., but that means either Central Cass or Oak Grove will have to win 2 straight games here today to force it to tomorrow. If Kindred wins later tonight in the championship, the Vikings will be crowned 2026 champs. I'm Chase Miller. Welcome here to Viking Varsity Baseball Diamond here today in Kindred, where it is overcast skies. Some pop-up rain showers have kind of trickled on through in our setup, but all things considered, able to get these games on today here with Oak Grove and Central Cass. Following that, with the Kindred Vikings. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, take a look at the weather conditions here throughout the day. Also from there, we'll hear from both head coaches, from Dustin Maggio and Gabe Duncan. We'll get to our starting lineups and recap how these teams got to this point of the tournament. That and more still to come today here in Kindred.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
As we take a look back here on yourliveevent.com, here today from Kindred, taking a look at the three teams remaining against Central Cass alongside with Oak Grove and the Kindred Vikings. Taking a look at how these teams got here on our bracket breakdown, brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. As we take a look at the baseball brackets here, and a handful are still going on. Others have been postponed. Region 2 has been postponed again until tomorrow at Mayville State. Before the Oak Grove Grovers, they lost in the opening round to Sargent County 7-4, and then from there came back through the losers portion of the bracket on Thursday in Oaks with a 22-12 win after being trailing 8-0 after the top of the first inning. They came back and eventually won 22-12 in 6 innings. The Grovers then would also go on to defeat Oaks 16-6 in 6 on Friday and defeated Sargent County in a close contest with the Bulldogs 10-9 to get to this point here for the Grovers through the loser portion of the bracket. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, the number 3 seed defeated the Ball Stars 25-1 in 5 innings a week ago today on Tuesday, May the 12th. Then on Thursday in Oaks, the Squirrels were able to defeat the Oaks Tornadoes 9-2, thanks in part to a Brody Cagley grand slam in the 6th inning. Then from there fell short to the Kindred Vikings 5-3 in the semifinals. Central Cass and Oak Grove, it's win or go home, and then from there you got to beat Kindred twice. While for the Kindred Vikings, the number 1 seed defeated Enderlin in 5, 22-3 back a week ago today here in Kindred against the Enderlin Eagles. Then from there defeated Sargent County 4-1 and topped the Central Cass Squirrels as well of 5-3. That's a bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North. Visit banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank. From everyday banking to ag and business lending, Bank North supports local families and businesses with financial solutions rooted in community commitment and local decisions. For more, go to banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. When we come back, we'll hear from the coaches. First up is head coach Gabe Duncan from Oak Grove. Then we'll hear from Coach Dustin Maggio from the Central Cass Squirrels. It's all ahead of our starting lineups and the opening pitch today from Kindred.
Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile Project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
This interview is brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank as we get ready for our first of two games today here from Kindred. The first is an elimination contest with Oak Grove and Central Cass, with the winner to play Kindred in the championship. Join us. Here's the head coach from the Grovers. That's Gabe Duncan. And Gabe, just what'd you like from your team's performance to come back with a couple of games down in Oaks, really hit the ball well and continue to find a way to be in the top three here and have a chance to get that championship later today?
Yeah, I've been telling the guys since we took one lost down to Sargent County right away. It's hashtag all the way back, okay? Since then, we've been hot. I think we have 42 RBIs or runs scored. We've been pretty hot, and we're playing loose and having some fun.
You mentioned hitting the cover off the ball. I think it was about a 533 batting average so far here in the region tournament. A lot of extra base hits with doubles and home runs. So it's just been working on that side of the swing of things here.
Yeah, I think it goes along right with what I just said. We've been playing pretty loose, having some fun. Guys have been just in some big spots and really come through for us. Zach Winter is one of those guys. He's been an electric factory all season. But we've got production from everybody, really. It's just putting the ball in play and hitting the ball hard.
You look at Central Cass's lineup with Elia Boonhoff. What does he have to do well today on the mound to, get you with the lead and then try to minimize the really good at-bats that they have on their side of things?
Yeah, getting ahead in the count was really crucial for us. Get that first strike and then pound the zone.
What's the final thing for you, Gabe, before we let you go? What's just a message to this crew here being in this particular, matchup here with Central Cass with a chance to be in the region championship? Obviously, you got to win one to get to where you want to go, but what's the message to the crew here against Central Cass?
Yeah, let's play hot and loose, baby.
I like it. Gabe, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
That ain't Coach Duncan for the Grovers. We'll continue with more after this here in Kindred.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Vistos Implement, everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167.
Today from Kindred on YourLiveEvent.com, this is the Region 1 baseball tournament elimination game to get to that championship at Central Cass. Oak Grove first things up first, and join us from the Squirrels perspective is their head coach. That's Dustin Maggio. And Dustin, as you get ready for a game like this, just what's the mentality of the guys, understanding it just takes one, but obviously you got to win one to get to ultimately where you want to go.
You know, they're pretty focused right now. You can see they're a little loose, but they're more business-like today. We practiced yesterday for a little while, and inside because of the cold, and it was raining and stuff, so we did a little hitting inside yesterday, and just talking through some things and stuff, and they're loose but focused, I think.
You look at Oak Grove, they've been smashing the cover off the ball, batting above 500 so far in this tournament. A lot of guys have gotten extra base hits, so what's going to be a challenge against the lineup for Ryland here later today?
I feel like if he moves the ball around like he did earlier in the tournament, I think he'll be okay. I think he needs to keep them off balance, not get comfortable and rely on a fastball, and they'll jump on it. They'll jump on any mistakes and stuff, so we need to make sure that we're changing speeds.
You go through the couple days in Oaks. What was the good and bad from your perspective? Obviously, you're still alive. That's all that matters, being one of the 3 teams remaining, but what was the good and bad from Oaks that you hope to carry over from the good perspective here in Kindred?
I think the bad was the way we played against Kindred. I think we, and not to take anything away from them, but we've outplayed them in 2 games and still lost. I mean, offensively and pitching-wise, Brock threw a good game against us in Oaks. So the bad is kind of the attitude of we played really good, but we still didn't win. Okay, the bad kind of sticks in your mind more, though. The good, we pitched well. The guys that threw pitched well, even back to the 12th in Castleton. The guys have thrown well, and we did that too. Keegan pitched well. Got in a couple rough innings and stuff like that, but I think the mentality is we need to just go. We just need to play baseball. Whatever happens, happens.
Hey, Dustin, thanks so much for your time. Bundle up a little bit today. It feels like fall weather outside, and best of luck here today.
Yeah, more football season, but yeah, thanks, Chase.
And again, Dustin Maggio, head coach for Central Cass. We'll continue with more after this. This interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
As we're getting ready for the starting lineups, those interviews brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. That again is dhb.bank. Chase Miller with you today here from Kindred, taking a look at the respective weather conditions. 52 degrees as it stands right now here in Kindred, with the wind's going to be from the north, so you're going to get a little help when you jet it out to center and left field here today, as the winds will be making their gusts up to about 20 miles an hour. The Grovers will be in their black uniforms as we see it up and down the lineup here in their gray numerals outlined in white, with the white pants here today for the Grovers. As we go from there to the Central Cass Squirrels in their respective starting lineup here in a moment for head coach Dustin Maggio and Central Cass. A reminder, the winner of this game's got to win too. Got to win today against the Grovers and got to win in the nightcap against the Kindred Vikings to try to get to that Game 2 championship tomorrow here in Kindred as well. If we get to that one, it'll be at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And a reminder, the Region 1 softball tournament continues today as they are making their way through. with Kindred and Valley City, and the resumption of that game starting at 4 o'clock in Castleton. Central Cass defeated Hillsborough Central Valley. They're playing in the Region 1 Softball Championship tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The Burros will be playing an elimination game against the loser of the Highliners, and alongside the Vikings upcoming tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Those games are in Hillsborough. When we come back, we'll get to the opening pitch, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway, as the Central Cass Squirrels out in their white uniforms with the red numerals and lettering outlined here in black. Head coach is Dustin Maggio for the Central Cass Squirrels. Head coach for the Oak Grove Grovers is Gabe Duncan. We'll get to our starting lineups and the opening pitch next here in Kindred.
Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey swatch autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility wants you to enjoy the events in the communities of our area. Here's to living the sweet life. American Crystal Sugar, Drayton.
Imagine your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us. It's now time to get ready for the opening pitch, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Get ready for racing on the radio all summer long up in Ada, Minnesota on KRJB 106.5 FM. Also get ready for the World of Outlaw late models coming into Ada, Minnesota as well with racing on the radio. And also you can check out live racing all summer long. For the complete schedule, go to NormanCountyRaceway.com. That is NormanCountyRaceway.com. As we get ready for the opening pitch and our green flag here today, and hoping for no yellows in terms of Mother Nature. Let's get from the green to the checkered at some time tonight. Then it's just a matter of do we need to get back on the track, if you will, tomorrow for Game 2 of that championship. Eric Olson and Brett Ingebretson going up the third and first base lines respectively. Cale Hamry calling balls and strikes in our first contest here this afternoon into early evening here today in Kindred. Following this game, we also will get to the All-Region Senior Athlete and Coach of the Year awards in between this game and the Region Championship, so we'll have that for you as well. As we get ready for our opening pitch here today from Kindred, overcast skies. It's in the low 50s, wind blowing out to left center field. So if you're going to hit one to left, you're going to get a little extra behind it here in this one with the opening pitch at 4:04. And this one will go all the way backstop for a ball to Butenhoff. And this one will be outside for a ball on our Norman County Raceway. First pitch Ellie Butenhoff here for the Oak Grove Grovers in this Oak Grove lineup. They've been hitting the ball extremely well as this one's called a strike. It's 1-1. Batting .533 here in the tournament so far with 22 walks, 31 strikes, and 16 make that 17 extra base hits between doubles, triples, and a home run as this one is going to be hit in the air right to the right fielder. Kozowski doesn't have to do much with that one. Butenhoff is retired for the out, and there's one down. Rylan Boder is taking the mound here in game number 1 for Oak Grove and game number 1 for the Central Cass Squirrels. Someone's going to play a game 2. Boder, 1 appearance, came in with 92 pitches thrown, currently now at 96. You get 135 in the tournament, or you get 3 appearances, whichever comes first. As this one will miss outside for a ball to James Henderson. James Henderson so far in the tournament, 6 of 13 with 4 runs driven in and 10 runs with 1 extra base hit, that being a double here for Coach Duncan and this Grover club as this one works outside for a ball, now 2-0. The Grovers have been hot swinging, particularly in Enderlin where they put up 22, 16, and 10 runs respectively in the 3 games down in Oaks, over the Thursday and Friday weekend as this one's called a strike to Henderson. 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Osmondstad in center field with Christensen in center, Osmondstad in left, and Kozowski in right as this one is fouled off. So Osmondstad again in left field. Keegan Peterson over at third with Jack Everson at shortstop. Cagley at second. Bryce Mueller at first. Lewis behind the plate. And Rylan Boder on the mound here today for Central Cass. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Boder gets the strikeout, and there's 2 down. Here on the top of the first inning, Zach Winter, the senior first baseman, batting third with Jack Bjornson, the junior third baseman, batting cleanup. Segan, the sophomore catcher, medic, batting fifth with Alexander Meidinger, the freshman right fielder, sixth. Jackson McAloney, the junior DH, seventh. Beck Olvin, the senior left fielder, eighth, and Colton McCullough, the sophomore right fielder, is batting ninth here today as this one is called a strike on Winter. Winter 5 of 12 so far in the tournament, 11 runs driven in with 2 home runs and also a triple. As Winter sees this one miss for a ball, it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here on the way to a dangerous batter with Winter. As Boder sees this one popped up in the air. We'll see if it's going to be out of play. It will. That'll go over the Grover dugout and up to the Evergreens here in Kindred. Down the left field line is due south. Down the right field line is due west. It feels like football weather in terms of October than what we were expecting here in May for some baseball. 1-2 pitch popped up as well. And one thing in this particular contest for both of these head coaches with Coach Monjo and Coach Duncan, with the guys who are starting on the mound, they have about the same amount of pitches left, roughly around 40 before their night will come to a close. So this one will be almost like an opener into seeing how far they can go respectively. So early on in the contest, as Winter is doing here, if he can balloon the pitch count up, that'll go a good way from a Grover perspective. Pitch 14 of the inning, 2-2 pitch just out of the zone. It works the count full. It's now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to the senior first baseman Winter as Rylan Boder with the payoff pitch into the glove of Lewis. Foul tipped. It's a strikeout. And Boder has a 3-up, 3-down first inning. 15 pitches. He has thrown now 107. It's 28 remaining as we make our way to the bottom of the second inning, or excuse me, the bottom of the first inning here on YourLiveVent.com. Grover scoreless, Central Cass coming to the plate.
Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
Welcome to the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the big air ATV show in the R&J Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends.
As we head to the bottom of the first inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, Boulder with 15 pitchers, 2 strikeouts against Henderson and Winter. As for the Central Cass Squirrels and their starting lineup, it'll go like this. Jack Everson, a senior shortstop, batting first, with Brody Kangley, the junior second baseman, batting second. From there, Ryan Osmondstad, the junior left fielder, batting third. And then you have Keegan Peterson, the senior third baseman and cleanup spot. Carver Kozowski, the sophomore left fielder, batting fifth. With Grayson Lewis, the senior catcher, batting sixth. Bryce Mueller, the junior first baseman, batting seventh. With Grady Mueller, the junior DH. And Lucas Christensen, again, the junior center fielder, here today for the batting lineup for head coach Dustin Maggio and the Central Cass Squirrels. For Central Cass, batting .406 so far in the tournament. 11 walks and 13 strikeouts. They have a ton of extra base hits, with 15 of them between doubles, triples, and home run variety, as Jack Everson will dig in here for Central Cass. And going up against him will be Elliot Butenhoff. Butenhoff, so far, this will be his third appearance in the tournament, has 97 pitches thrown, so just under 40 that he will have today before he will have to come out. Butenhoff, 5 2/3 innings worked with 8 hits, 7 runs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts as he's pitched against Sargent County in Game 1 and Sargent County in Game 2 for the second go-around, and the last game back on Friday before everything wrapped up in Oaks, North Dakota. Everson, righty-righty matchup. As Jack will see this one outside for a ball, it's 1-0. Everson 6 of 12 at the plate with 6 runs driven in and 6 runs scored. As he will take a strike at 1-1, and very similar to what we said with Ryland Boulder, it's the same here when it comes to Butenhoff. If you can work some counts, take some pitches, kind of make your way through, as Jack Everson was hit by a pitch, and he will take first base here for the first free pass of the contest. So Everson will make his way to first and be held on by Winter. Medic behind the plate doing the catching. Bjornson at third base. DeFiore, the freshman, over at shortstop, with Henderson at second. Olvin in left field, McCullough in center, and Meininger over in right. That's a look at your starting lineup here defensively for the Grovers. As Butenhoff will work from the stretch, runner stays put. First pitch swinging. This one is popped up, and we'll see if it has enough room, and it will eventually just go out of room here to Brody Kegley, the junior second baseman. So runner at first base here for Central Cass. Kegley 6 of 12 with 2 homers, a couple of triples, and a double. Has 10 runs driven in so far, and he had the grand slam variety against Oaks and had a 2-run shot late against Kindred to get the Squirrels right back in that ball game back on Friday morning into the afternoon in that semifinal. Everson takes his lead off of first. The pitch, good breaking ball in there for a strike to Kegley. It's 0-2. Also going on in Castleton, it's Valley City, Kindred, Richland in the Region 1 softball tournament. We have the Region 2 softball tournament up in Thompson today as well. This one's going to be one hopped into the glove of Segan behind the plate. It's now 1-2. Pitch number 7 upcoming here for Butenhoff of the inning, but this will be a pitch number 104 upcoming here in terms of its total pitches, as Kegley hits one on the line, and this one is through into right. Meininger is going to play it. He'll have to come up throwing. Where will he go? He'll overmail the shortstop, so going into second base on the throw will be Kegley. So it'll be a single followed by an error to get to second base. Everson goes first to third, and Kegley takes first base, but with the throw by Meininger getting past DeFiore, the Central Cass Squirrels have runners at second to third and are threatening early here in the bottom of the first inning. Now it's to Ryan Osmondstad, as Osmondstad is 2 of 10, but with 4 runs driven in so far for Central Cass in the tournament. Infield, on the corners will come in as it stands for the first and third baseman. Boonhoff sees this one. It's going to be hitting the air to straightaway center. McCullough will camp underneath it, and McCullough will come up throwing, finds it to DiFiore, but the run does come in. It's a sacrifice fly for Ryan. He will get his 5th run driven into the tournament. Everson comes in to score. Kegley will stay put over at third base, and the first run of the game on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard goes to Central Cass, and there's one down. Now it's to Keegan Peterson, the cleanup batter, with one down here in the bottom of the first. Peterson fouls this one off. It's 0-1. Well, for Keegan Peterson, 6 of 12 with 2 runs driven in and 3 runs scored so far in the cleanup batter role for head coach Dustin Maggio. Runner at second base is Kegley. Hit by pitch for Everson would eventually come in to score, is sliding back safely. Here's Kegley to second base. Osman Studd again on the sacrifice fly. He was able to first pitch swinging, barrel one up to straightaway center and do what you needed to do, kind of get that first run of the game in and see if you can add to it now, as there's going to be a chopper up the third base line, but that'll go foul. I'll be in there for a strike here to Peterson. It's 0-2. Question is, will the Region 1 baseball tournament wrap up tonight, or will we have to wait about 24 hours before it wraps up and get ready for the state tournament next week? The 0-2 going to be hit up the third base line. Eric Olson calls it foul, and we'll stay here at 0-2. Region 2 baseball tournament up at Mayville State will begin tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. They have been postponed for a second day, so their tournament now is going to go Wednesday, Thursday, and if needed, a championship game number 2 on Friday in Mayville. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball hit in the air. That's got a chance to split the gap, and that'll die in front of the left fielder there with Alvin. Coming in to score is Kegley. It's a one-out RBI single for Keegan Peterson, and the Central Cass Squirrels have taken a 2-0 lead. So Peterson gets the run driven in. Kegley comes in to score. Keegan stands over at first base right now, and the Central Cass Squirrels able to knock a couple in and looking to add on to it here in the bottom of the first inning on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Now it goes to Carver Kozowski. Kozowski first pitch swinging, hits a high fly ball in the air to center field. McCullough will come in. Kozowski is retired on one pitch, as it's now with Grayson Lewis. Five batters up so far for the Central Cass Squirrels. 14th pitch upcoming here for Boonhoff, as this would be pitch number 111 of the tournament. Again, you get to 135, and then you have to come out of the game, or you get 3 appearances, whichever comes first. 2 down here in the inning. This one will work outside for a ball. It's 1-0 to Grayson Lewis. Lewis so far 4 of 12, but he has 7 runs driven in, 2 runs scored, and a couple of homers, including the Grand Slam variety against the Ball Stars. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit off the end of the bat. This one will go to the third baseman. Bjornsson bobbles it, and he just has to eat it. So the Squirrels will get an extra out here in the bottom of the first inning. Keegan Peterson will take it to second base. Lewis over at first, as it now goes all the way to Bryce Mueller. And Carter Nelson going to courtesy run here for the catcher, and Lewis over at first. So Nelson at first base, Peterson at second. Squirrels trying to open up the game here in the bottom of the first inning. The Region 1 baseball tournament. Boonhoff with the pitch. This one will be called a strike to Mueller. And so 1-1. Mueller 2 of 8 so far with a run driven in for the Central Cass Squirrel product. The junior. One of his 2 hits, a extra base variety with a double. As this one works outside, taking that extra lead off a second was Peterson. That secondary lead. Number 1 trying to take a good firstly, but that secondary one trying to see if he can get a base hit, going to bring you back in. So a daylight play there with Henderson trying to keep Keegan close after that secondary lead that we just talked about. Looking over at the second baseman in that hole right now at first. The runner's going to break for third base and coming in, and that's going to be an errant throw. So Peterson going to get the steal. Then he'll make his way home coming on in for Keegan. Nelson will go to second, and Central Cass has taken a 3-0 lead. Another error in the inning. That'll be the third here for Oak Grove. And now all of a sudden, Bryce Mueller works with a 2-1 count with a runner in scoring position. That is Nelson. Well, sometimes in sports, it's just trying to minimize the damage that can win you games and try not to beat yourself. And so far for the Grovers defensively here, they've given Central Cass an extra out in the inning, a couple extra bases here in the inning, and the Squirrels have made them pay. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 3-2. Pitch number 21 of the inning upcoming. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Bryce Mueller. Batter number 7 here for the Squirrels in the inning. This will be hit on the ground. That'll go to the third baseman, Bjornson. Makes the play, fires across the diamond, and Winter is unable to pick it. As going around third base, coming in to score is going to be Nelson as he slides on in. And the Central Cass Squirrels have taken another lead. It's 4-0. So we're going to see that error make its way on through. So a couple of back-to-back errors by the third baseman, and now you'll see Coach Duncan coming out and talking it over with the infield. Central Cass for the Oak Grove Grovers scoreless. And for Coach Duncan, I think this is just more so to talk it over with the guys on the infield right now, just let everybody relax a little bit and just trying to get everybody settled down as it currently stands. Central Cass 4, Oak Grove scoreless. This is the Region 1 Baseball Tournament on YourLiveEvent.com as we're broadcasting today from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth. Farmers Union Insurance with David Bergman Agency, servicing both the Foreman Oaks and surrounding communities. Get in contact with David Bergman at 701-724-6252. That's 701-724-6252 with David Bergman. From farm to business, crop, and more. Not all products are underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance. Taking a look at the first base camera as it stands right now, as Winter holding on the runner of Bryce Mueller after Nelson came in and scored the 4th run. As this one's going to be in there for a strike to Grady Mueller. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here to Grady. As Butenhoff with the pitch sees this one missing low. It's 1-1. Look at Grady Mueller so far. 3 of 4 with a run driven in. 1 run scored in 2 walks here in the Region 1 Baseball Tournament. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball called a strike. It's 1-2. Lucas Christensen, the 9th batter, due up next here for Central Cass. Here's the 1-2 offering on the way. That'll be a high hopper. That'll go to the shortstop. DiFiore plays the throw, throws it across Winter in time for the putout, 6-3. But 4 runs come across on 2 hits. There were 4 errors with a runner left on base. New score after 1 on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard at Central Cass 4, Oak Grove scoreless as we head to the top of the 2nd.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
On the top of the 2nd inning, as we take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard update in Castleton, Kindred Richland with a 12-6 lead in the top of the 5th inning. Vikings trying to beat the Highlanders in a resumption of yesterday's game to see if they can make it to the Region 1 championship. If not, they'll have to play Hillsborough Central Valley as that one's called a ball. It's 1-0 here to Bjornson. This missing low as well. Now 2-0. Ryland Boder a 3-up-3 down top of the first with a fly on a Butenhoff. A couple of strikeouts of Henderson and Winter. Jack Bjornson has had a good bat at the plate so far here for the Grovers' perspective. As he hits this one on the ground, that'll go to Everson. Everson flips it across the diamond, 6-3 on the putout. But going back to before that now, Bjornsson now 9 of 17 at the plate with 8 runs driven in and 5 runs scored. As now it goes to the sophomore catcher in Sagan. Minute coming up to the plate, 9 of 16 as well with 4 runs driven in and 1 double here for the Grover sophomore catcher. As this one works outside for a ball, it's 1-0. Batter number 5 of the inning in for Rylan Boder. This will be pitch number 20 upcoming here of his appearance. That one works outside for a ball, now 2-0, and this will be now pitch 128. So the question is, can he finish the inning here for the Squirrels? 2-0. That'll be foul tipped. It's now 2-1. Then from there, the question becomes for head coach Dustin Maggio, and also playing with the lead a little bit now, how does that adjust your game plan going into maybe who is going to be pitcher number 2? Still have yet to see Carver Kozowski. Still got Lucas Christensen as well here from the Squirrels' perspective in terms of some of those that haven't pitched yet. As this one's going to go foul and we'll keep it. Lindstrom has thrown 1 appearance. Mueller, that's great. He has gone 1. Keegan Peterson with 1 with 102. And then Bryce Mueller with 1 and 9 pitches thrown in just a third of an inning. So he's got a handful of left still to throw some pitches. It's just a matter of how you want to go about it moving forward. And what this does as well with Segan fouling a handful of them up, it's starting to eat some of the bullets in the chamber, so to speak, that Boder's got left. Here's a 2-2. Hit in the air. That's a line drive shot to left field. Coming on and losing his hat is Ryan Osmondstad for the out. And there's 2 down here in the top of the second inning. So now 24 as 131 pitches have been thrown. And you get 135, so this could potentially be his last batter. But first pitch swinging is Meininger at 0-1. Well, for Meininger right now, 6 of 13 with 7 runs driven in and 2 doubles here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. 0-1 pitch, foul back. It's now 0-2. Jackson McAloney is due up next. Well, for Central Cass, it'll be 9-1-2 in the bottom half of the second with Lucas Christensen to lead things off for the Squirrels. Here's the 0-2. This one works outside for a ball. It's 1-2. So with this one, this will be the last at-batter here for Boulder as we see it now with this being his 4th pitch of the at-bat. 1-2 will miss. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with nobody on here to the freshman right fielder to Meininger. 2-2. That'll be a chopper hit high to the third baseman. Coming in is going to be Peterson. Throws across. Do they get the tag? No, it's out of the glove here of Bryce Mueller, who was trying to apply the tag. As Meininger will reach base on the E5. As we'll see this one right now. Going back through, just taking a look at the pitch count again one more time. As this one comes through, making sure we have everything situated for Central Cass. Boulder with 92 pitches thrown. As this one will be 30. So he will have 122. So for Boulder, how many more pitches can you get? But these are the different situations that make its way. Runners in a break for second base. Lewis unable to do much with it as it gets by him. Going into scoring position will be Meininger now as he stands pat at second base. So 123 pitches here for Boulder. I added the extra 10 from taking a look at earlier. But Boulder again right now with 123 pitches, regardless, starting to wind down a little bit. It's Jackson McAloney, the junior designated hitter. That was a 1-ball, 1-strike count, but trying to see if he can get that first run across here for the Grovers. 1-1 is going to be hit in the air. That's going to die to right center field, and this will die in for a base, and then with 2 outs coming in will be Meininger. There will not be a throw, and the Grovers get their first run of the contest. Meininger comes in. McAloney with an RBI single delivers the goods, and the Grovers are on the board here in the top of the second inning. So first into the contest for the Oak Grove Grovers, and in doing so, able to get their first base run of the contest with Beck Olvin. As Olvin will come up, take a look at the lead here by McAloney. As they throw back and able to slide back in safely. Bryce Mueller holding him on over at first base here with Jackson. Beck Olvin trying to see if he can continue the rally here for the senior in the second. Olvin takes outside for a ball. It's 1-0. High school baseball game that's just about at the half-hour mark here today after our first pitch at 4:01, the 1-0 offering. That'll be called a strike at the knee. It's 1-1. And back to Colton McCullough, then the top of the lineup here for the Grovers. The 1-1 pitch. This would be hitting the air. Soft little saucer into straightaway center. Back-to-back singles here for the Grovers. McAloney to second. Beck Olvin now to first. And the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers have runners at first and second base with 2 outs. So 127 pitches right now for Boulder as it stands. That's Colton McCullough at the plate. McCullough first pitch swinging, hits one in the air to center field. Coming on here will be Christensen. He'll stay put. You'll have station to station yet again, and the Grovers, these by no means have been smoked, but still barreled up enough to get to the outfield. As McAloney goes to third, Olvin to second, Colton McCullough will stand at first base, and the bases are full here of Oak Grove Grovers. And as warming up down the bullpen here on the way will be Cade Lindstrom. Lindstrom starting to warm up in the bullpen for Central Cass. This one will be called a strike. It's 0-1. Back to the top of the lineup here with Elliot Boonhoff. First time through the order for Boulder. 3 hits against in an inning and 2/3. 1 run with a couple strikeouts and no walks. Boonhoff flew out his last time up to right. There's a swing and miss. It's now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering on the way for Boulder. 0-2 going to be a chopper. This one's going to be taken away. Nicely done by the pitcher, Boulder, to Bryce Mueller to leave the bases full, and that will be 1-3 on the putout. 1 run comes across on 3 hits. There was an error and 3 runners left on base. We have played an inning and a half today on YourLiveEvent.com. It is the Central Cass Squirrels 4, the Oak Grove Grovers 1.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance,
maybe? I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
As we head to the bottom of the second inning, it's the Central Cass Squirrels 4, the Oak Grove Grovers 1. But for Boulder, left the bases loaded there after 3 straight singles following an error. And for Boulder right now, 131 pitches thrown as it currently stands. So he has a couple left, so he could possibly come on for Henderson unless they go sometimes just with respective pitchers, you like to come on with a clean inning. So we'll see what Coach Maggio will do once we get to the top of the third. But right now here, 9-1-2 batters. Christensen will see this one outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Well, on the opposite side, able to see the 124th pitch here of the tournament for Boonhoff right there. This goes to Bjornsson at third. Bjornsson throws it across the diamond into Winter in time for the putout. 6, make that 5-3, and there's a 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. So first time through for Boonhoff, an inning and a third, 2 hits against, 4 runs. There were 4 errors behind him. 1 walk and no strikeouts, and the walk was a hit by pitch to Everson, who digs in now here for Jack. Came in and scored the first run of the game as Everson will see this down and into the turf. Here in Kindred, you have turf on the pitcher's mound, turf at the plate, and then turf up to the first and third baselines before you kind of get to the dirt where you would have a little bit of where the fielder would play, and Everson will take another hit by pitch. So Jack will take first base. Everson will stand pat there. As we see Brody Kegley now to the plate with 1 down here with a runner on in the bottom of the second inning. On the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, share their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. As Kegley with a single eventually came in and scored a run, as well as Boonhoff paying a lot of attention here to Everson over at first base. As Boonhoff now will work into the stretch. Everson stays put, breaking ball, missing outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 down here. As McCullough with the lefty kind of getting into a little bit more of right center field here in Kindred. As you see it on their center field camera, this one blocked by Segan. It's now 2-0. 128 pitches so far here for Boonhoff, as he has 7 pitches remaining as it stands right now, unless you can finish off the batter once you get to that mark. Everson fakes that he was going to run. It's now 3-0. So if you're at 134 pitches and it's a 2-2 count and someone fouls it off and you get to 135, you can continue to pitch through that at-batter. But if you throw anything more following the next at-bat, then your team would be in juncture of potentially forfeiting a contest. As this misses for a 4-pitch walk, Kegley will take first base. As now you have runners at first and second for the Central Cass Squirrels with Ryan Osmondstad. A sacrifice fly his last time up. That plated Kegley, who eventually was able to make his way, plated Everson after he had runners at second and third base. As there's the fake bluff back over. So 130 pitches right now here for Boonhoff. It goes to the junior left fielder here with Osmondstad. Osmondstad will take a strike. It's 0-1. Region 1 baseball tournament for one of these guys. They're hoping for another 24 hours of baseball here this year with one of these two teams to try to punch themselves with a win here, get themselves elevated to the championship, then have to beat Kindred later tonight. And see if you can play tomorrow in a winner-take-all to make your way to Jack Brown Stadium next Thursday in Jamestown. With the weather, the region tournaments across the state are kind of sporadic of, number one, where they've been. Region 3 had to split up to Lemoore and also South Border to play yesterday. Today, the Region 3 baseball tournament is in Castleton. And also, it kind of goes with the state track and field where you have a handful of athletes who are dual sport. The 1-1's going to be smoked in the air. That's got to left center field. McCullough going back, and he will make the catch. The lead runner with Everson will go from second to third. So a quality out, but it will still be a fly on here for Osmondstad. And there's 2 down with runners at the corners. As this would be pitch number 134 here to Keegan Peterson, so this could be the potential last batter here for Butenhoff. As it stands right now, runners at the corners. Kegley over at first base. Jack Everson stands at third, and right now Butenhoff trying to leave a couple of squirrels on the base pass here in the bottom of the second inning. On the opposite side, Peterson want to see if he can get a run driven in for the second time here today. Butenhoff with the pitch. Runner's going to break. This one goes low. And sliding in safely, here will be Kegley into scoring position. He was off and running on the pitch. It's now 1-0 to Peterson. Peterson with a single and a run driven in and a run scored in the bottom of the first inning for Central Cass. There's the 1-0. Hit on the ground. This one will go to Bjornsson. Bjornsson fires across. Winter is unable to make the play. As it one-hops Winter, he bobbled it. Then by the time he tried to get there, hustling down the line was Peterson, and a run comes in to score from third. Everson comes in. Kegley will go to third base. Peterson reaches base on the air, the fifth of the game for the Grovers, and that'll put the book on Butenhoff here for the tournament. So runners at the corners. Central Cass leads it by 5-1 as it stands right now on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. We're back with more after this here in Kindred.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customers satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
As we take a look at defensive changes coming on from center field will be McCullough. Butenhoff will go to third base. The shortstop, and DiFiore, has been removed from the game. Bjornsson, the third baseman, will go towards second. And then Gavin Kramer comes in for DiFiore to play right field. So Kramer in right, Meininger in center, Alvin in left. Winter and Henderson still at first and second with Mittig behind the plate. Butenhoff over at third base, and then you have Bjornsson standing at second. As this one misses for a ball to Carver Kozowski. Butenhoff, an inning and 2/3 with 2 hits against, 5 runs. Hit 2, walked 1 with 0 strikeouts, as this one is called a strike to Kozowski. As again, McCullough will come on now here for the Grovers and take the mound. Runner's going to go. This one is hit down the right field line, and the right fielder can't make the play here with Kramer. 1 run comes in to score here with Kegley. Peterson was off and running on the pitch. He will come in as well. It's a RBI, 2 RBI double for Kozowski on the opposite side, and Central Cass has taken now a 7-1 advantage. So goes opposite field. Kramer made a dive for the play, kind of an all-or-nothing play there for Kramer. Because going off on the pitch was Peterson to kind of get that extra real estate. He comes in to score his second run of the contest. 2 runs driven in by Kozowski, and the Squirrels are jumped on the Grovers here with 4 runs in the first, and now 3 runs here so far in the second. All those charged to Butenhoff, and now Lewis takes a ball. It's 1-0. Lewis, reach base with an error first as he's going to hit this one into right again. Kramer has to hold on for that one. as Kozowski's going to be waved, and here's the throw, the relay, not going to be in time. Coming in to score the opposite field single, Lewis provides the goods. Kozowski will come to score, and Central Cass has taken a 8-1 advantage as Nelson will come back on in courtesy run over at first base. And Central Cass with a couple of 4 spots here so far in the first and the second. This one is going to be called a strike. It's 0-1. And for Oak Grove, you look at how many guys they have pitched so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different pitchers in this tournament. 25 innings coming in as this one goes foul. And that's the one thing through the losers bracket. How many arms do you still have remaining once you get to a game like this? And if you're able to win once you get to that championship a little bit later on. But right now, the 5 seed in Oak Grove and the 3 seed of the Squirrels, and it's all number 3 here in this game. This one is backhanded by Middig. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reminder, we'll have a little bit of an extended post game with the all-region selection, senior athlete coach of the year, the all-region team, and then we'll have Kindred get ready for their warm-ups before we get to the championship a little bit later on, as this one will be a strike 3 looking to retire the side. McCullough comes in, gives up a couple of hits, and as well 1 run for the Central Cass Squirrels. They put up 4 runs in the inning. It's a new score as we head to the top of the third on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Central Cass leads it by 7.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
As we come back here on yourliveevent.com, take a look at a bracket breakdown, an update from the Region 2 softball tournament. Carrington has been knocked out as Pembina County North picks up a win. So Pembina County North will go up and make their way with the win. So Carrington will go up against Nelson County Makota upcoming a little bit later on here in an elimination game up in Thompson, while on the opposite side, able to see their way make through will be Pembina County North going into a championship game against Thompson tomorrow. We'll have that for you right here on yourliveevent.com. As we make our way through, Cade Lindstrom on the mound here for the Central Cass Squirrels. As 2 balls so far here in relief for Lindstrom. A bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North up in Thompson, as this is off the end of the bat that goes right to the second baseman to Kegley, a little pop out, and there's 1 down to James Henderson. Ryland Boder, 2 innings of work, reached the pitch limit that you can have in a tournament. So Boder is out. 2 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And now he makes way to Lindstrom. Lindstrom so far, second appearance, he's thrown 73 pitches as he was able to pick up the win against the Ball Stars a week ago today in Castleton, as Winter takes a strike, gets 0-1. So as it stands right now here for Lindstrom, he's got a multitude of pitches to work with, just over 60 coming into this. The 0-1 pitch, this one is foul back. It's now 0-2, and for the Central Cass Squirrels, You're hoping that Lindstrom can get you in the next couple innings here, see if he can maybe put another couple runs up on the board and not have to maybe worry about playing 6, 7 innings today. If you can start thinking about the run rule, but first things first, got to make sure you take care of business with Lindstrom on the mound and see if the guys at the plate can tattoo a couple more runs across on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. One down here to the number 3 batter in Winter in the lineup. Strike 3 looking Lindstrom with the strikeout. That's the third combined for Boder and Lindstrom, and there's 2 down. This goes now to Jack Bjornson. Had a ground out his last time up to open up the second inning. This is the Region 1 baseball tournament today from Kindred. Playing in the first round all at the higher seeds. 8 games in Oaks as Jack Bjornson takes a strike. I think Robin Paul down there, and also Coach Couragean for showing us the hospitality when we're down in Oaks. The 0-1 pitch is going to be fouled. It's now 0-2, and the remainder of the tournament, pending weather and what happens today here in Kindred, and particularly if we have to get moved to tomorrow as well. Here's the 0-2 pitch along the way for Lindstrom. Winds and delivers, and this one fouled right over on top of us again. As right now, Lindstrom and Bjornson. Bjornson, a couple of foul balls right over the press box here up the first base side, trying to time him up. 0-2 went off speed. Lewis will have to make the play over at first base as he pops this one across, and that'll retire the side for the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Lindstrom. A 3-up, 3-down inning in relief. As we make our way to the bottom of the third inning, it's Central Cass 8, the Oak Grove Grovers 1.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
As we get to an end-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, Central Cass 8 runs so far on just 4 hits. They have left 2 runners on base, and they've committed 1 error. While for the Oak Grove Grovers so far, 1 run on 3 hits. They've left 3 runners on base and have committed 5 errors here today. The Squirrels have 4 runs across in the first, 4 runs across in the second. Boothoff went an inning and 2/3. Boder with 2 innings to start the contest here for Central Cass. And so far, the Squirrels' couple runs driven in by Carver Kozowski, 2 runs scored by Peterson and Kegley, while a run driven in here for the Oak Grove Grovers as getting that hit and eventually was in a row. Meininger reached base on an error. McAloney, Olvin, and McCullough all came in and eventually provided a couple of singles in that second inning. That's a Dakota Heritage Bank in-game update. Go to dhb.bank. That's Dakota Heritage Bank. 8-1 with you. Chase Miller here on YourLiveEvent.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast here of the Region 1 baseball tournament. Those will be Mueller, Christensen, and Jack Everson as we take a look for an update as well here in a second in Castleton on what's going on in the Region 1 softball tournament. 1-0 pitch is going to be popped up in the air down the right field line, and now first base, Winter will come in and play it, and Mueller is retired on the little infield pop-up as there's 1 down. Kindred Richland with the lead over Valley City as it stands 12-7. Bottom of the 6th inning for the Vikings. If the Vikings win that game against the Highlanders for softball, they'll play Central Cass tomorrow in the championship up in Hillsboro. As this one goes foul on the way for Lucas Christensen. That game is scheduled for 4 o'clock. The loser of the Vikings and the Highlanders will play Hillsboro Central Valley at 2. So the Region 1 softball tournament tomorrow in Hillsboro, 2 o'clock, a elimination game, followed by the championship at 4 and the state qualifier at 6 tomorrow. Kevin Kochman on the call for you today in Castleton. He'll be joined by Jake Berkemeyer tomorrow on YourLiveEvent.com as this one is hit down the first base side. Winter making way, and Winter able to make the play in foul territory here. So a couple of pop-outs by the 8 and 9 batters into the first baseman's glove of Winter, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as it goes to Jack Everson. So that's a look at the Region 1, Region 2 softball. We'll keep you apprised of what's going on in Region 2 and also Region 3 and Region 4 here on the eastern side of the state for baseball. As this one misses low to Everson. Jack Everson with a couple of hit-by pitches with 2 runs scored as well here for Central Cass in that top of the lineup. 2 of the 8 runs scored here by the number 1 batter and the senior shortstop who's heading to Bismarck State College coming up here in the fall to continue his baseball career in BSC. A brand new basketball also from their volleyball center, just over 2,000 seats that'll host the girls state A tournament next year for basketball. As Everson going to hit one out to right field, and Jack will get aboard with his first base hit of the contest. In relief, that'll be the 3rd pitch or 3rd hit against McCullough here. As it goes now to Brody Kegley, but Bismarck State College has added a little bit more resources, being a 4-year school for the Mystics, and some more athletes here in the Red River Valley. Kegley will take one outside for a ball. It's 1-0 for the Grovers. They'll have Segan, Meininger, and McAloney due up, and in Oaks, we saw them put up a 9-10 run kind of an inning. That's what they kind of need right now as this game starts to dwindle down, as this one is called a strike. But first, can McCullough get out of an inning, and for Oak Grove, putting up a 0 in the bottom half of the frame here in the 3rd. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kegley, who's scored 2 runs here today, a single and a walk. As this one works outside, now 2-1. Stolen base as well here for Brody. Everson taking his leave, being held on by Winter at first base. This will be pitch number 20 in relief here for McCullough. As that works outside for a ball, now 3-1. McCullough, 2nd appearance here in the tournament. He has now thrown 106 pitches, came in that 2nd Sargent County game. 3-1 pitch. That'll be called a strike, work the count full. This will allow Everson to break early from first base with 2 down. Ryan Osmondstad due up next if Kegley can climb aboard here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner breaks. This will be hit in the air into shallow left field. This one might have a chance and eventually does drop. Here's the left fielder, Olvin. And then Everson was rounding 3rd. And he looks to be okay. After Everson was rounding 3rd, he just slipped up right there. And now there'll be runners at the corners with 2 down. So Jack will go to 1st to 3rd. Kegley will stand at first base for his 2nd base hit. And now it's going to be runners at the corners with 2 down. After Olvin came in and had a pretty good run into it, Everson put on the brakes, just kind of tripped up as well. Rounding 3rd looks to be okay. Now it goes to Ryan Osmondstad. So Squirrels threatening here via the 2-out, couple of singles in the bottom of the inning. This one will be called a strike. Segan's throw down, and this will eventually be in front of Henderson, but Bjornson able to play it behind him. So Kegley with the stolen base for the 2nd time. He will stand at 2nd. No balls and a strike here to Osmondstad, who's had a sacrifice fly for a run driven in eventually of Everson. And then in his last at-bat, able to move Everson from 2nd to 3rd on a fly out to center. So he's hit a couple of straightaway center field, looking to do something similar here on this one and try to plate a couple of runs. 1-1 pitch, going to get by Segan. Making his way to come in to score. Standing up is going to be Everson. On the wild pitch, he'll be 2-1. Kegley takes 3rd base. As it's now a 9-1 contest here for Central Cass on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. So Squirrels do put up 1 run here in the 3rd, looking to make it another crooked number here if Osmondstad can groove one. Osmondstad will stay pat on this with the left-handed Kegley, say don't come on down after Segan with the back pick. It's now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Ryan will take a walk as he will reach base for the first time today. And runners will be at the corners here for Central Cass with Keegan Peterson at the plate. So Kegley over at third. Ryan Osmondstad stands at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning here. What's coming up will be Keegan Peterson. Peterson with a single and a run scored in the first and reached base on an error and eventually came in to score as well in the second. As Segan providing some relays here in terms of signs if the runner breaks, and this time the runner does go. Ryan Osmondstad gets into scoring position here at second base. It's 0-1 on the strike to Peterson. So runners in scoring position now for the Squirrels. 0-1 pitch, and this one is laced, and oh, what a catch by the shortstop. Bjornsson saves not one, if maybe 2 runs, as Peterson barreled it up, but it's a line drive out to retire the side. 1 run does come across, and Central Cass has a 9-1 lead through 3 here today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
As we head to the top of the 4th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, Segan Mittig will see this one be a foul ball. It's 0-1. Mittig with a fly out to Osmondstad in left field. As Lindstrom missing one outside for a ball, it's 1-1. Osmondstad again in left. Christensen in center with Kozowski over in right field here for the Central Cass Squirrels. The 1-1 pitch. This one will be hit on the ground. That'll go to Everson. Able to take the hop, throw it across the diamond in time to Mueller is there, and there's 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Bryce Mueller again at first base with Kegley over at second. Everson has done a good job playing a couple hops today over at shortstop. Peterson over at third with Lewis behind the plate, and Kane Lindstrom on for his 2nd inning of work here for Central Cass. Lindstrom sees this going to be hit on the ground. This will be a foul ball over to Peterson at third base. As we got a little action brewing here in the Grover bullpen, as right now it's going to be Jack Bjornsson warming up down the left field line here for the Grovers. No balls and a strike here to Meininger. Meininger reached base and eventually came in to score here for the Grovers for their lone run of the contest back in the 2nd. As this one misses up for a ball, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Fans continue to trickle on in here today for the Region 1 baseball tournament. As this is going to be hit in the air, that'll go to left, and there's a diving attempt by Osmondstad. He does able to get in front of the baseball and not allow him to get by him. So it is a single here for Meininger. That'll be the first hit against Lindstrom in relief, and the Grovers get a runner on here in the top of the 4th inning. Nice attempt by Ryan Osmondstad, but also He did a good job of at least getting the glove on the hop to the baseball to not allow that to get by him, and eventually getting to left field and see if how far maybe Alex Meininger could start going a little bit. As for Coach Maggio right now, takes a look at the pitch count as it stands with 16 and kind of where he's at. So coming in here for Lindstrom again, 73 pitches. I'm just making sure, I think, from a pitching perspective of where you're kind of at and where you have to play as it stands right now. Runners in a break. Throws down, not going to be in time regardless. Meininger will take second base standing up. It'll be 1-0 on the count now to McAloney. I think they're taking a look at Osmondstad as well. But just going back through for Lindstrom, 73 pitches so far. He currently is at 90 here, so he's still got a good chunk to go. As the pitch on the way, this one will miss for a ball. It's now 2-0. And then looking here at just for Lindstrom and the pitch count that you have, if you go anything more than 45 pitches here for a Central Cass or Oak Grove pitcher, you will have to sit and rest today. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind as you go through. As there's a C&I single that's going to make its way to right. Runner will stay put with Meininger. Jackson McAloney gets his second single of the game. Runner's at the corner with the Grovers threatening here in the top of the fourth inning. But for anybody that pitches, yet again, for one of these two teams over 45 pitches, you cannot come back and pitch against Kindred a little bit later on here this evening. So that'll also be something for Coach Maggio to think about here if he wants maybe Lindstrom to still have some pitches remaining, but kind of get through the top of the fourth inning as running from third base coming on in is going to be Meininger to score. McAloney will take second. On the wild pitch, it'll be now a 9-2 contest on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. So the Grovers scrap a run across here in the fourth inning. And for Beck Olvin takes a 1-0 count. And that was the bottom of the lineup for the Grovers that provided the run in the second. And it's the same thing here right now in the top of the fourth inning. Batter number 8 here in the lineup. Olvin swing and a miss. It's 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Colton McCullough due up next here for Oak Grove. As Lindstrom sees the 1-1 pitch. This will be hit in the air. That'll go into right center field. Gazowski will come on and able to make the catch here for the Central Cass Squirrels. As there's 2 down here on the top of the fourth inning. As Colton McCullough trying to see if he can provide another base hit here at the number 9 spot. Will dance and take his way inside for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Now for Cade Lindstrom, that was the 1-0 pitch. This will be pitch number 24 in relief for Lindstrom. This will be foul. Be 1 ball and 1 straight. Back to the top of the lineup then with Butenhoff. And then once he faces Butenhoff, Cade Lindstrom's gone through the Oak Grove lineup, trying to minimize the damage to 1. The Grovers get the 1 run back that Central Cass scored in the bottom of the third, but now it's, can you get 2 or 3 runs here in the top of the fourth inning and try to cut that deficit to 6, maybe 5 runs with a little 2-out rally. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Gail Hamry calling balls and strikes. Ingo Bretson up the first baseline. Mr. Olson, that's Eric up the third baseline here today for our umpiring crew. The 1-2 pitch. Not going. It's now 2-2 as McCullough, especially on that breaking ball, just trying to see if he can fling it or make its way to right field. On the outer part of the plate, here's the 2-2 offering on the way. Hit on the ground. This will go to Everson. Everson makes the throw across in time for the out to Bryce Mueller. It's 6-3, but a run does come across on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. New score through 3.5 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Central Cass leads it by 7.
New inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
As we take a look at our bracket breakdown, we do have a new pitcher as Bjornsson is taking the mound. But first, our bracket breakdown here for the Region 2 baseball tournament that'll resume tomorrow in Mayville. 11 o'clock in the morning, Hillsboro Central Valley going up against Nelson County Makota. And then from there, it's Mayport, CG, and Thompson. The loser of those two games will play a little bit later on then tomorrow afternoon, roughly at around 3 o'clock. The two winners will make their way to the semifinals on Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And then they'll have 3 games on Thursday. And if needed, the second championship game on Friday at Mayville. Join Joel Ansello and alongside Jacob Tenson here on YourLiveEvent.com. That is a bracket breakdown for an update from the Region 2 baseball tournament that'll resume again tomorrow in Mayville. Go to banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, local families with businesses and financial solutions rooted in community support. That's Bank North. So Jack Bjornsson will come on here. No balls in a strike to Carver Kozowski, as Kozowski now falls behind at 0-2. For Bjornsson, this will be his second relief appearance. 66 pitches so far for Bjornsson, now at 69, as this one works up a high for a ball. It's 1-2. Elliot Boonhoff has been done. McCullough as well is out of the game. 1-2. This one missing for a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCullough makes his way back to center. Meininger shifts to right, and left is Alvin. 2-2 pitch is foul back. As Boonhoff stands at third base, Steve Fiore able to re-enter and play at shortstop. Henderson at second, Winter still at first, and Middig behind the plate here for the Grovers. Bottom of the 4th inning, the 2-2. That'll miss for a ball, now 3-2. Kozowski with a 2 RBI double his last time up in the second, came in and played a run as well later on with the run scored. 3-2 pitch is popped up. Middig giving some chase alongside with Winter, and that one eventually is out of play, making its way towards the concession area here in Kindred. We'll keep it at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Once this game wraps up, we'll get to the championship game with the Kindred Vikings. Also in between, it'll be the All-Region Team Senior Athlete and Coach of the Year. And with a couple of games down in Oaks, Oak Grove has been a 2-hour baseball game regardless with the amount of hits that they've been able to have. There's going to be a pop-up in the air to right coming on is Meininger on his horse, and he able to make the catch. Nice play by Meininger. Kozowski is retired after working the count, as now 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But when you're Oak Grove, you put up 22 runs, you give up 12 against Interland, you put up 16, you give up 6 against Oaks, and then you win 10-9 over Sargent County. Those games are going to drag on a little bit from a Grover perspective. As this one works outside for a ball to Lewis, has reached base twice with a run driven in back in the second. Nelson came in and courtesy ran for him, came in a score run in the first. 1-0 pitch, missing outside for a ball. It's now 2-0. This is the Region 1 baseball elimination game again between the Grovers and the Squirrels. This one works outside for a ball, now 3-0. As Bjornsson following behind Grayson Lewis. So 3 balls and no strikes as we see Bjornsson here with the 3-0 count. That'll work for a ball. Lewis will take first base. That'll be the first free pass for Bjornsson in relief, and we'll see if Nelson comes on in courtesy runs. Yes, he will. So Nelson will come on and courtesy run over at first base here for Central Cass. Sun is trying to peek through the clouds here a little bit in Kindred. Squirrels have put up at least 1 run in every inning. 4 runs in the first and the second, and 1 run in the bottom of the third. One for Oak Grove, a run in the second and a run the fourth. Nelson stays put. The swing is going to be hit up the middle. This one goes off the glove of DiFiore. Able to stop it, that it's not going to go into center, but regardless, for Bryce Mueller, he will reach base. It's going to be an error to DiFiore. The 6th error of the contest here for the Grovers. Runners will be at first and second base. Now goes to Grady Mueller, 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a pop out so far as Bjornsson takes a look at the lead runner. This one's called a strike. It's 0-1. Or fly out to Kozowski. Lewis reaches base on a walk. Nelson stands at second now. Bryce Mueller over at first. Nelson with the courtesy runner. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Grady. This one will get all the way to the backstop. Runners are going to break for 90 feet up to second and third. So Nelson at third base. Mueller stands at second. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. And for Bjornsson, this will be the 16th pitch of the inning here. For Jack, still to come, we'll also get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway, player of the game, Agassiz Precision Ag, play the contest, and more. As this one is called a strike, it's 1-2. As they see it here for Bjornsson. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul off, and we'll keep it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 offering on the way. As Bjornsson looking for a punch out here to try to get to 2 down. And there it is. Strikeout. Going to be his first in relief as it goes to Lucas Christensen. So far, Bjornsson needed that one to try to keep the runners at bay. This one is called a strike. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here to Christensen. 0 for 2 today. Bjornsson with the pitch as this one's going to be grounded. Going to play it. Bjornsson will barehanded flip it over to Winter in time for the out. 1-3 on the putout. No runs on no hits. There was an error and 2 runners left on base. So far through 4 innings today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, Central Cass leads by 7.
Our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers. They are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Make sure you patronize all of our sponsors. Without them, we cannot bring you the Region 1 Baseball, Region 1 Softball Tournament, and the Southeast Track and Field Meet over the last couple of days in this portion of the state. Also, we got the Northeast Track and Field Meet in Region 2 Softball and Region 2 Baseball as well. A lot of things happening in a short amount of time here in the month of May as this one will one hop. It goes to Butenhoff here. Butenhoff 0 for 2 today when they fly out and a ground out. But right now for the Grovers, you have 9 outs to work with if it's under the 10-run advantage, which right now it is at 7 as this one's called a strike. But you also know Central Cass is very capable of putting 3 runs up on the board and possibly winning in a mercy rule contest. So from the Grovers' perspective, can he put up a run or 2 here in the inning? Butenhoff right back up the middle. That'll help as Butenhoff gets a single to open up the top of the 5th. So Butenhoff will stand at first base. And for the Oak Grove Grovers, this will be their first leadoff batter that they've been able to get aboard against a Central Cass pitcher, either against Ryland Boder or here with Kane Lindstrom. So against Lindstrom right now, hit number 3 in 2 innings of work. As now it goes to James Henderson. Henderson takes the ball outside. It's 1-0. First time through the lineup card for Lindstrom. Goes 2 innings, 3 hits. Does give up a run across, no walks, and 2 strikeouts here for Lindstrom. Here's the 1-0 offering. A lot of work outside for a ball. Now 2-0. So James Henderson 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-out so far here in the first and the third inning with Zach Winter due up next. 2-0, missing though, now 3-0. And Henderson's trying to do what Butenhoff did. Just find base runners right now from a Grover perspective. All for Lindstrom. I'm going to find the strike zone right now against Henderson before Winter steps up. M.B. Ornson in the heart of the lineup here for the Grovers. 3-0 pitch. It'll be a 4-pitch walk. Butenhoff will take second base. Henderson make his way to first. And the Central Cass Squirrels have runners at first and second right now. This is their best threat of the contest. Previously in the second inning, with 2 down, they got 4 consecutive batters aboard on an errand and 3 singles. Left a runner on in the 4th inning, but right now here for the Grovers, this is their best start to the top half of a frame. And Winter went for the 3-run shot. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here as the temperatures making their way low 50s to upper 40s, and that gust kind of makes it feel a little bit more like it's freezing. 1 ball and 1 strike on the way here to the senior first baseman. Butenhoff at second. Henderson stands at first. Winter looking for a base knock somewhere. Lindstrom looking for an out. 1-2 pitch. One going to foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. State baseball and state softball here in Class B in Jamestown coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. The state track and field meet making its way Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week out in the capital city. 1-2 pitch is up the first baseline. That goes foul. For some schools, it's already summer mode. Oaks was wrapped up on Friday already. Here in Kindred, last day of school is tomorrow before it's summer. Graduation day coming up here on Sunday. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll be strike 3. Winter is punched out for the 3rd time today. Lindstrom gets his 3rd strikeout, and there's 1 down. For Oak Grove and those in Fargo, you'll be making your way back Memorial Day to kind of wrap up your school year upcoming. Jack Bjornson 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Lindstrom with a large out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. This will be hit on the ground and going to be bobbled by the 3rd baseman, Peterson. Peterson was trying to cut it off in front of Jack Everson and hit his glove and couldn't make the play. So been in the air. So Butenhoff will go to 3rd base. Henderson stands at second. Jack Bjornson gets aboard, put the ball in play. And the Grovers now with the bases full, top of the 5th. 1 down with Mittig, 0 for 2 today at the plate. Seeing with a fly out and a ground out as it stands right now here for the Grovers. Game that's gone an hour and 21 minutes here in Kindred. Mittig trying to see if he can put one through the gap and have the carousel go a little bit from the Grovers' perspective, as Oak Grove had a 3-up, 3-down first against Boder. They sent 7 batters to the plate in the second, 3-up, 3-down against Lindstrom in relief in the third, sent 6 batters in the fourth, and this one misses inside for a ball, and this is batter number 5 here in the 5th for Oak Grove. As for the defense, Peterson playing even with the bag over at third. Bryce Mueller just a couple of steps behind the runner at first here. 2-0 going to be fouled back. It's now 2-1, and then the middle infielders with Everson and Kegley, hoping to see if they can put something on the ground and have a chance to turn two to get out of the frame. But right now, Oak Grove going to put up a run, maybe two here in the inning. This one will be called a strike now, 2-2. Well, if you're Lindstrom, you're one quality pitch away from getting out of the frame, or at least getting your second out right now here on the top of the fifth. Lindstrom, third inning of work here for the Squirrels. 2-2, yes he did, went through the zone. Lindstrom with the strikeout, his second of the inning, and there's two down here at the top of the fifth. Now it goes to Alexander Meininger. Alex Meininger able to score both runs of the game so far for the Grovers. Two down as the pitch going to be hit on a line that'll go to Everson. Everson will go the short way over to third. That'll go 6-5, and Meininger is retired on the fielder's choice as Butenhoff is out at third base. So no runs come across. There was one hit, an error, and three runners left on base as we make our way to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's still 9-2 Squirrels.
Visto's Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Visto's Implement, everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
All right, on cue, broadcasting today from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth here in Kindred. Chase Miller with you for game number one between Central Cass and Oak Grove. Game two upcoming. The winner of this game will play Kindred in the championship. From home to life to business and more. Not all products are underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance. Call 701-724-6252. That's 701-724-6252 with Farmers Union Insurance, David Bergman Agency. In contact with David Bergman throughout the course of the week in Foreman and in Oaks. Bjornson continues to work as this is going to be a high chopper into the shortstop and bobbled there by DiFiore. As reaching base here will be Jack Everson for the fourth time here today. It'll be an E6, and for the Grovers, it has been the difference right now. They've committed 7 errors here today for Oak Grove. As now it goes to Brody Kegley. Kegley has reached base all 3 times. A couple stolen bases with 2 runs scored. Everson taking his leave off of first. Good breaking ball by Bjornson in there for a strike. It's 0-1. So as it stands right now, Central Cass up by 7, bottom of the 5th inning. Grover's looking to get this game to the 6th. Squirrels, if they can, just to minimize the game, need to get runners on to see if they can 10-run rule the Grovers. And this one will be hit. It did hit Kegley, so there you are with runners on. Everson will take second base. Kegley will take first as it stands. Runners at first and second right now here on YourLiveEvent.com. Update for you for a bracket breakdown from the Region 1 softball tournament earlier today. Kindred Richland with the win over Valley City. So the Vikings will go up against Central Cass tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the Region 1 softball championship, where Valley City has a date with Hillsborough Central Valley in a elimination game, as this one's called a strike to Ryan Osmondstad. Then the winner of HCV and Valley City will play the loser of Kindred and Central Cass in a state qualifier later tomorrow at 6 p.m. Those games in Hillsborough is now 0-2. That's a bracket breakdown, again, brought to you in part by Bank North. Visit banknorth.bank. Banknorth.bank, rooted in community commitment and local decisions. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Bjornsson with the 0-2, runs up a fastball up and in, caught Osmondstad on the hands, gets a strikeout, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now goes to Keegan Peterson. Peterson was robbed of a base hit his last time up in the 3rd inning, as Bjornsson at that time was over at shortstop. That would have scored a run, if not 2 runs across. And there's one down here in the bottom of the 5th. This one being in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Bjornsson, similar in Oaks back on Thursday, Friday. Just kind of got in a rhythm here in relief and doing the same thing right now here for the Grovers against the Squirrels. The 0-1 pitch. Work up and in. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Everson reached base on an air hit by pitch by Brody Kingley. Stands at first. Carver Kozowski due up next for Central Cass. Here's the 1-1. Makes it now 1-2. Pitch number 30 upcoming for Bjornsson. And for Bjornsson here, this will be pitch number 96. 96 for Jack, and this is his 2nd appearance. The 1-2. Going to be hit on the ground. This one will get through into left field. Coming in to score will be Everson for his 4th run of the contest. It's an RBI here for Keegan Peterson. And Peterson able to get a base hit, get aboard. And now the Central Cass Squirrels have a 10-2 advantage. Keegan Peterson's had himself a nice game. Couple runs driven in, 2 runs scored. Everson comes in as now Kingley stands over at 2nd base for the senior. For Keegan Peterson, he's done a good job so far this respective tournament. This one called the strike. It's 0-1 to Carver Kozowski. So no balls and 1 strike. As they see this here for Bjornsson. The pitch, 0-1, jammed him, popped up. Is it in play? The 3rd baseman giving chase, and he will run out of real estate right in front of the wall here as Boonhoff was giving it all that he had a little bit down the 3rd base line, trying to navigate the wind that was pushing it away from him, and as well the sun that's making its way through the clouds from earlier this afternoon. A little bit of rain, not too much to speak of compared to what we've seen over the last 24 hours, but just enough to be annoying. And seeing this with the wind continue to make its way through into left center field. The 0-2 pitch does not go through for a ball. It's now 1-2 with Kozowski. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peterson over at first base again. Jack Everson over at 3rd. Here's the 1-2. That'll miss low for a ball. Now 2-2. Grayson Lewis due up next. Henderson trying to keep the runner close at 2nd base. 2-2 pitch. Going to be lined in the air. That'll be down the left field line. 1 run will come in, making his turn is Peterson at 2nd. Olven able to get the ball back in, but right now the Squirrels are 1 more base hit and 1 more run away from putting this game to rest here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Who's coming in will be Brody Kegley. Able to see Keegan Peterson to 2nd. Carver Kozowski with his 3rd run driven in of the contest. And we'll get a quick meeting on the mound. We'll continue with more after this here on your LiveVent.com.
Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey Swatch autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles Hillsborough.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility wants you to enjoy the events in the communities of our area. Here's to living the sweet life. American Crystal Sugar, Drayton.
As it stands right now for an in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, Central Cass needs just one more run to put the 10-run rule up on the board. If they don't get it here in the bottom half of the fifth inning, we will go to at least the sixth as it stands right now. So for Oak Grove, the main run that is the one you have to circle is Keegan Peterson over at second base. He's the one that matters. So anything from an outfielder's perspective, you got to be coming home if there's another base hit in the outfield as Grayson Lewis trying to put the game to rest. He's reached base 3 times, a single, a walk, and an error back in the first inning. Bjornson arrives back. Lewis with the chopper. They're going to get one over at third. A chance for the twin killing, and this one goes over the head of Winter. So Lewis able to reach base on a fielder's choice. The Grovers do get the out and the lead out, so Peterson's retired at third. Kozowski will take second, and Lewis on the fielder's choice will be courtesy run for by Nelson. So Nelson will come on in courtesy run as it goes to Bryce Mueller. 2 runs across here for the Squirrels in the bottom of the fifth. They're looking for their third. Bryce Mueller 0 for 3 today, has reached base twice on 2 errors. But what this out does allows everybody to kind of play where they need to, just straight up here from a Grover's perspective. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and someone won. Bjornson able to get the off-speed pitch across. Here's the 0-1 on the way. 0-1 missing for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Grady Mueller due up next if Bryce walks or just gets a single, and bases would be full here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss. Work all the way to the backstop. Runners will scamper to second and third. So Nelson at second, Kozowski at third base. It's 2 balls and 1 strike here to Bryce Mueller. What this game particularly does now for the Squirrels is one more wild pitch. That's what they're looking for. Grover's still looking for one more out here to get to the sixth. As Bjornson rocks and delivers. 2-1, Middig sees this one. Now 3-1. As the Kindred faithful patiently awaiting the conclusion of this game to get ready for that championship and the awards ceremony in between. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Foul tipped in the glove. It's now 3-2. Full count upcoming here to the junior first baseman as Bjornson has a 3-2 count. This will be hit on the ground. That'll go to the shortstop. Takes a high hop. DiFiore in time, and we're going to go play 6. As it goes 6-3 on the put-up. But 2 runs do come across here for Central Cass as they lead it 11-2 as we head to the top of the 6th inning as they leave 2 runners aboard here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
Top of the 6th inning here today in Kindred. So for the Grovers, still live. That's the main thing. But with work to do, down by 9 on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Central Cass 2 runs across on 2 hits. There was an error, and they've left 2 runners on. The Squirrels have left 8 runners on base this afternoon. While for Oak Grove, they've left 7 runners on base as it stands. As this one goes foul. And also what this starts to do, it starts to eat at the pitching a little bit more here for Cade Lindstrom. Cade Lindstrom came in with 73 pitches in 1 appearance, and now this will be his 48th pitch upcoming. So for Lindstrom, about 15 pitches remaining left here before his tournament is done, and for Central Cass, they would like to see if they can get 3 outs here with Lindstrom. The 0-2 pitch going to be hit in the air. That'll go to right. The right fielder, Kozowski, will come in for the catch as there's 1 down. So that's exactly what the Squirrels were looking for to get the out here in the top of the 6th inning. Now Beck Olvin will come up with a single so far today. Reach base in the 2nd inning. He flew out to Kozowski, who just made the catch. As this one going to be called a strike. It's 0-1. As it stands right now, if Central Cass can hold on for this game, it'll be the Squirrels and the Vikings in the Region 1 championship. Just a matter of, are we playing 1 game today, or are we going to play 2 of the game today and the game tomorrow that will get underway at 5 p.m. for the 2nd championship game here in Kindred if needed. Here's the 1-1. It'll be called a strike on the breaking ball. It's now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Beck Olvin as the righty-righty matchup on the way. 1-2, that one will foul tip into the glove. As this one will be a hit by pitch. So Lindstrom will give up his 2nd free bag of the contest. So you'll see Beck Olvin over at first base. Now it goes to Colton McCullough. As for Lindstrom, runner's going to stay put. This one going to get by Lewis. So going into second base here will be Beck Olvin. It'll be 1-0 to Colton McCullough. For the Grovers, base hit here. Try to get that down to a 8-run advantage for Central Cass. Trying to cut into that deficit just a little bit more with a base knock. Or Colton already has a single earlier today. Hits one on the ground. That'll go to Everson. Everson now going to have the lead runner in a pickle as Peterson's going to pick it up. Trying to get back to Kegley. Kegley will pay this one back over to the left-hand side, and they will tag Everson. So 6-5-4, back to 6 on the putout. Olvin is retired, and Colton McCullough will reach base on a fielder's choice, and they do get an out. So smart play by Everson. Just kind of played it in front of him and saw that, hey, I can go get the lead runner out, keep it to a 9-run game. And for the Central Cass Squirrels, making their way with 2 down here. And now for Oak Grove at first base will be Colton McCullough, and stands to Elliot Butenhoff. Top of the lineup here for Oak Grove. Butenhoff is 1 of 4 so far, or make that 1 of 3 so far today. This must be his 4th time up. Fouls this one back to the netting. It's 0-1. For the Squirrels, bottom of the 6th, it'll be Mueller, Christensen, and Jack Everson, 8-9-1, with Grady Mueller to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. 57 pitch here for Lindstrom. This one backhanded by Lewis. Lindstrom again with 73 pitches. So he's getting up there with 130 pitches thrown so far. Here's 131. The 1-1. That'll be called a strike. It's now 1-2. As Lindstrom looking to rev back and see if he can get one more strike and one more out here and bring the bats up in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-2 pitch. This will be hit on the ground, up the middle, and that'll die and get by Everson and into center field. So McCullough will take second base. Butenhoff gets his 2nd straight hit. Runners at first and second to Henderson. And now for Lindstrom, this looks like this will be his final at-bat with where the pitch count is upcoming on the way for Cade Lindstrom. For Henderson, 0 for 2 today with a walk back in the 5th. Grover's looking for that base knock to bring in a run as this will be hit, and that'll be a base knock into center. Coming in play, it's going to be Kozowski. The runners will stay put. And Lindstrom, you start adding the pitching totals here because of 1 pitch. He will get 1 more at-bat potentially as Coach Dustin Maggio coming out, and this one might be also to talk it over one more time with Lindstrom, but we'll see if he makes a pitching change as it stands right now. Bases full of Grovers. James Henderson able to get aboard here with 1 pitch and a base knock. McCullough over at third base, Butenhoff at second. Grovers left 3 runners on in the 2nd inning, and they left 3 runners on as well in the 5th. Here as for Coach Maggio, pretty much just allowing Cade to collect his breath and say, hey, you got 1 less batter as it stands right now. go get him, and it's Winter, who's quite frankly, from a batter's perspective, due. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today, with 2 of them looking. Winter, one swing of the bat can change things up. Had a 3-run home run against Sunderland in Oaks after being down 8-0 on the top of the first. Propelled the Grovers to eventually score 22 runs. Coming into today here for Winter, has driven in 11 runs here for the Grovers in this Region 1 tournament. But regardless, a walk is just as good from an Oak Grove perspective, trying to see if they can keep passing the baton with the guys at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Winter stays put. Lewis able to keep it in front of him. It's now 2-0. If Winter gets aboard some way, somehow, Central Cass will have to make a pitching change, as Boder's officially done on a pitch count, and Lindstrom then would officially be done on a pitch count as well. Here's the 2-0. Work inside for a ball. It's now 3-0 with Jack Bjornsson due up next. McCullough at third, Boonhoff at second. Henderson stands at first. As Lindstrom looking for the strike zone, you see if you give the green light here to Winter or not. 3-0 taken all the way, as he was pretty much backing off the batter's box when that pitch was coming. It's now 3-1. Offering. Winter hits one on the ground. This one will go to Peterson. Peterson bobbles it, has a time, but can't make the play. So the Grovers play to run, and they are down by 8, and that'll do it for Lindstrom. So coming in to score will be McCullough. Boonhoff will take third base. Henderson will take second. Zach Winter reaches base on the air. The second of the contest, or make that the third of the contest here for Central Cass, and will have a pitching change. It's 11-3. Grover's not going away quietly here on the top of the 6th inning. We'll let you know who the pitching change is when we return.
Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kendrick Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kendrick Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
This one will just be a switch here as Grady Mueller will come on for the Central Cass Squirrels. Mueller, taking a look at what he's been able to do so far. Second appearance, an inning and 2/3 against the Oaks Tornadoes with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, 23 pitches. So Grady's got enough pitches to work with here, but now it's trying to get an out without giving up any more damage as it stands currently. Well, for Central Cass, taking a look here for Lindstrom, he goes 3 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. He's on the hook for all 3 batters all 3 runners as it currently stands right now. Mueller, first pitch. This one will go right over to the third baseman. Able to play it there is Peterson, and that'll go unassisted. So 5 unassisted to retire the side, but a run does come across here. On 2 hits, there was an error and 3 runners left on base as the Grovers have left 10 runners aboard and 3 times the base is loaded. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the new score. Central Cass 11, Oak Grove 3.
To the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the Big Air ATV show in the R&J Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com. Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
As we make our way to the bottom of the sixth inning here on YourLiveEvent.com for the Grovers. 1 run on 2 hits. There was an error and 3 runners left on base as Mueller comes on and gets the batter out with Jack Bjornson on a fielder's choice. But with the run from a Oak Grove perspective, you give yourself a little bit more to work with to try to see if you can get to the top of the 7th inning down by either 8 or 9. Bjornson will come on as will be the 9. Make that 8, 9, and 1 batters do it with Grady Mueller, Lucas Christensen, and Jack Everson here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Once this game wraps up, we will get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Our player of the game brought to you in part by Enbridge and our Agassi Precision Ag play of the contest as well. We'll bring you the All-Region Team Senior Athlete Coach of the Year. Then we'll get ready for the championship game with Kindred and the winner of this one. If it does stand as Central Cass, it'll be Central Cass Kindred with the winner to eventually make their way to the state tournament. Kindred just needs to win once. The winner of this game would have to beat the Vikings twice to make it to the state tournament in Jamestown coming up next week. Well, for Central Cass, they've left 8 batters on board so far. They have 8 hits, 11 runs, 3 errors. While for the Oak Grove Grovers, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 7 errors. As this one will be missing outside for a ball to Grady Mueller. Grady, now the DH has been dissolved as the pitcher will be on the mound here for Grady. Here's the 1-0. That'll be called a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mueller, Christensen, and Jack Everson here, the 8-9, and so far the 8-9 0 for 3 today at the plate for the Squirrels. As this one works down low for a ball, it's 2-1. So 2-1 here for Grady Mueller. And the 2-1 pitch, that'll be laced in the air, and that'll die in front of the center fielder. Grady Mueller gets a base hit against Bjornson as they see it now here for Central Cass as it goes to Lucas Christensen. Christensen 0 for 3 here today, then back to the top of the lineup with Jack Everson as we'll have a courtesy runner coming in here for Central Cass. I'll let you know who's coming in here for Mueller. As coming on in will be Aiden Thummel. Thummel, the junior, will come on. As will be Lucas Christensen. So Thummel stands pat at first base as you see it now with Lucas Christensen. Christensen looking for his first base hit of the contest. This one will miss up top to Middig. It'll be now 1-0. As Jack Bjornson falls behind the count, 1 ball, no strikes as Winter holding on Thummel over at first base. Thummel's going to break for second. It's a hit and run opportunity. This one goes foul back. It's 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to the number 9 batter. And then it'll be the 5th time through the lineup card for Central Cass with Jack Everson on the on-deck circle. Over at first base again is Mueller. As Bjornson takes the look and the pitch. 1-1. This one will get by the catcher, but eventually it will be called a strike as Thummel will take second base and Christensen falls behind at 1-2. Seeing the outfield pretty much playing straight away a little deep, and particularly for the right fielder here with Meidinger. As the 1-2 pitch is going to be hit in the air, that'll go towards the left fielder. On the way is Olvin. Olvin doesn't have to take too many steps to make the catch, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jack Everson has reached base all 4 times, 2 times of the hit by pitch, a single and an error, has scored 4 runs today for the senior shortstop and a future Mystic as well for Central Cass. As Bjornson will have to work again with the runner in scoring position. Takes a look at Thummel, the pitch, and then, well, Everson will wear it for the 3rd time today. Pretty much all 3 times have been in the same spot here for Jack that he's got hit by a pitch. Right in the back. As making their way through, looks like to be Jack's all right. Runners at first and second, but right now for the Squirrels, as they've done against the Grovers, threatening again here in the bottom half of the inning. As it currently is Kegley to the plate. Kegley with a couple home runs so far here in the tournament. He's reached base 4 times here today as well with 3 runs scored. Kegley's going to take a strike. It's 0-1. Single run scored in the first. A walk with a stolen base and a run scored in the second. Single and a stolen base stranded at third and the third and hit by pitch in the fifth with a run scored. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Kegley takes the strike. You see what the defense is for Oak Grove with McCullough playing right in front of our center field cam, a little bit in right center field. And we'll see the number 9 there for McCullough. No balls and 2 strikes on the way for Bjornsson. 0-2, that'll miss. It's 1-2. Ryan Osmondstad due up next. Regardless, for Oak Grove, won't be the last time that they will go up against the Squirrels unless they can make a valiant comeback here in terms of the bottom half of an inning. Here's the 1-2. Popped in the air. That'll go foul and out of play. We'll keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keeping you updated as well in the Region 2 softball tournament where Nelson County, Makota, and Carrington are playing in an elimination game. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Carrington with a 6-1 lead over Nelson County, Makota. 1-2. This one will miss and be a ground ball up the first base side. So you have Thompson squaring off with Pembina County North in the Region 2 championship tomorrow for softball up in Thompson with the loser to play against the winner of Carrington, Nelson, Makota for a state qualifier. Here's the 1-2 on the way for Bjornsson. Kegley doesn't go through the zone. It's now 2-2. So Thummel over at second, Jack Everson at first. As the 2-2 pitch, runners in a break for third base. Kegley's going to sky this one up in the air. This one with the wind going to left field and coming on and going to drop it. Here's Olvin. So now having to go all the way back to third base is Thummel. And Thummel did about a suicide and a half on that one, as eventually will be an out regardless, as Kegley almost just trying to keep Thummel as an opportunity here as he lifted that into left field, but having to come in was Olvin. So Thummel will be recorded out at third base here, and going to second will be Everson. Kegley will reach base, and there's 2 down on a long fielder's choice. This works outside of the zone. It's 1-0. Ryan Osmondstad with a sacrifice fly in the first. Reach base in the 3rd inning on a walk is 0 for 2 today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit down the line, and this one could do it. 1 run's going to come on in, and with 2 outs, Brody Kegley's on his horse. Alvin with the relay. He's going to try to come in and score, and he will do so here for Central Cass. Ryan Osmondstad with the final hit of the baseball game. It's a 2 RBI base knock for Osmondstad as well, as Central Cass officially wins this one by a final of 13-3. So a game in 6 innings that finishes at 5:56. So an hour and 55-minute contest. Central Cass 13-3 in 6 innings here today will take the championship. Again, that is your final as we head to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Grover's finished the season. Central Cass has a date with Kindred coming up roughly at around 6:30 tonight for the championship on YourLiveBet.com.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or taupe insurance?
Maybe? I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies. Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
As we come back here on our post-game show, again, your final on the Norman County Raceway post-game report. The Central Cass Squirrels 13-3 survived and advanced, name of the game today, and able to do so. Join us here is Keegan Peterson. Join us. And this interview, again, with our post-game, one of our players of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Keegan, first things first, a really good start. 4 runs up there in the first inning. You lead 8-1 after the second. Just kind of was working, so to speak, with the sticks here today, Keegan.
We were just in the cage last night. We went to the ball yard, got some live pitching, bumped up the machine so we could – it just looked like meatballs today. It was very nice. It really helped us out.
So you get this particular game, kind of just what you see from Rylan Boder and also Lindstrom kind of finishing things off before he got to Mueller. But what did you see from those guys against a Grover lineup that was just knocking the cover off the ball here in the tournament?
Yeah, they just got to throw strikes, and they did that. And they hit the ball in play, but we just made the plays. They kind of hit it to us. They were pieced, but right to us.
As you move forward here, obviously Kindred yet again. So what's going to be the mentality going into the championship game and trying to see if you can move it 24 hours from now?
Oh, just do the same thing. Don't do too much at the plate. Just try and make the play in the field and just be clean overall, honestly.
Let's kind of go through. Jack makes a nice play to get the lead runner in that particular inning. Got him in a pickle. Just kind of what's it like defensively knowing that, hey, at any different time you might get a lead runner out in a situation like you did there in the top of the 6th inning?
I mean, yeah, that really helped. Made it easier for the 10 run, honestly. I don't want to be that guy that says that, but getting him out, they would have 4 runs. We would have had 13. Get another run. Just made it quicker.
Final thing for you, Keegan. What's kind of the message in the clubhouse now, so to speak? What's the message in the dugout as you get ready for this championship? But ultimately, where you want it to be to start the season, have a chance to be in a region championship, obviously. But what's the message now, knowing that you got to take care of business tonight to get to tomorrow?
It's just the same mindset as basketball. I remember my coach Norman always said, "We're 0-1 now. Just get the next one. We're 0-1 today. Got to get the next one."
Hey, Keegan, thanks so much for your time and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Keegan Peterson with us here on the postgame show. We'll take a break and get you ready for the awards ceremony. That is next.
On-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle. Trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
As we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com, as we're going over the all-region team, our player of the game again brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com with Keegan Peterson, as we will continue to provide coverage here with some of the all-tournament team members as well. Ethan Simpira here for the Enderlin Eagles, getting part of the conversation to start with today. As also, this is our Norman County Raceway post-game report. Go to Norman County Raceway for more information upcoming at normancountyraceway.com. The all-region team, it's making its way through, so we'll get to that and stay on cue here with the all-region team. Is coming up here is Ethan Simbira from Enderlin with Cam Cordero from Lisbon, with Ethan Simbura, from Enderlin. You have Cam Cordero from Lisbon. Zane Heyer here from the Oaks Tornadoes. Here for Oaks. From there, from the Ball Stars, you have Kellen Remp. That's Hankinson, Fairmount, Campbell, Tinta, Rossolt, and Lidgerwood. Jay Stenson here from the Ball Stars as well. From there, Sargent County with Elijah Hansen here from the Sargent County Bulldogs. And going to be joining him here from Sargent County is Harry Newstill. Newstill here for the Bulldogs. So far, Ethan Simbura from Enderlin with Cam Cordero from Lisbon. Zane Heyer from Oaks, from the Ball Stars of Kellen Remp and Jason Stenson. Elijah Hansen from Sargent County and Harry Newstill as well. From the Grovers, it's Zach Winter from Oak Grove. And then from the Oak Grovers is Jack Bjornson. So the Grovers get a couple of selections here with Winter and Bjornson, as we're kind of roughly midway through for the amount of athletes who will be represented. From Northern Cass, Chris Hoyland for the Jags. Really quality player for Chris Hoyland as well, from what he's meant to that program the last couple of years. Also from Northern Cass, you have Cody Waitson for the Jags, joining Chris Hoyland here. Jags entered the tournament as the number 2 seed. And then you had, from there, Parker Anderson for the Jags. So for Northern Cass, able to get 3 selections of Hoyland, Cody Waitson, and Parker Anderson here. From there, for the Central Cass Squirrels, Ryan Osmondstad here for the Squirrels. Part of our Norman County Raceway post-game report. Able to see Central Cass as well with Grayson Lewis for the Squirrels, as they got stuff situated here in the dugouts, as the Squirrels had to go from the Kinder dugout up the first base side and now up the third base side, the visitors, with Jack Everson. So Squirrels again, Osmondstad, Lewis, and Everson here are your all-region team. And then also part of your all-region team here with the Kindred Vikings, Brady Baumgarten, the Kindred Vikings, who we'll see in a little bit, in a moment here, in the championship for the Kindred Club. Also, and let's see, Graham Hess here for the Kindred Vikings. Kindred will be nominated with Carson Getty. And our final selection of the all-region team is Fisher Johnson. So Baumgarten, Hess, Getty, and Fisher Johnson here for the Kindred Vikings. Part of your all-region tournament selection team. As there's the Coach of the Year and the Senior Athlete of the Year still to come here today, as they will do a all-region tournament selection. This allows us to get to our Play the Contest, brought to you in part by Agassi, your Agassi Precision Ag Feature Precision Planting Dealer. King and Peterson roped one to the shortstop, but Bjornson in the third inning made a snow cone catch over at short to rob, if not one, if not 2 potential runs. That defensive play was our Play the Contest, brought to you in part by Agassi, your local precision planting dealer. Go to planterdoc.com. That again is planterdoc.com. And our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection, top of the lineup, Jack Everson was hit by a pitch 3 times, and he gets 4 runs coming across. He reaches base 5 times here today. Jack Everson is part of our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection, what he was able to do both at shortstop position and also from there what he was able to find his way through, getting hit by a pitch 3 times and able to stay in the game all 3 times. That is our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. Go to halsteadtel.com. So that's the all-region team, which means there's 2 more awards still to be had. The Senior Athlete of the Year and the Coach of the Year going to be represented here today. So the Senior Athlete of the Year will be with Chris Hoyland from Northern Cass, as he will come on and talk it over with the Kindred AD and Brad Ambrosius and get the Senior Athlete of the Award. Also for Chris, this allows him to be represented and have a chance to be the State B Senior Athlete of the Year, as Trey Huzor was last year for Northern Cass from the Jags. So congratulations goes to Chris Hoyland, your Region 1 Senior Athlete of the Year for Northern Cass. He is your Senior Athlete of the Year for the Jags, team that finished again number 2 in the regular season in the region. Came up a little bit shy on Friday over in Oaks. And as we go now, as Scott Milbrandt just got done dragging the field here, making his way down the first base line as he's coming through. As we'll get to our Coach of the Year for our final announcement. And the Region 1 Coach of the Year will go from the Kinder Vikings. That is Scott Milbrandt. So Scott Milbrandt from the Kinder Vikings is the Coach of the Year. Just got done dragging the infield, and he will get nominated here for the Kinder Vikings as well. So that is our Norman County Raceway post-game report. Your final against Central Cass 16-6 over the Oak Grove Grovers. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll get you ready on a new stream link for Kindred and the Squirrels for the Region 1 Championship. That's around the corner next here on YourLiveEvent.com.